Good morning to all. In last class, we studied about the energy conservation, and introduction to the renewable and non-renewable energy sources. In this session, we will discuss the applications of the renewable energy sources. Before entering into the applications, once recapitulate the energy sources. What are the energy sources? Non-renewable energy sources and renewable energy sources. What are the non-renewable energy sources? Non-renewable energy sources like coal, natural gases, nuclear power, and fuel, oil. These comes under the non-renewable energy gases. Non-renewable energy gases means once you used it, then it is impossible to reuse. By using, they runs out in the lifespan. It is not reproduced by the nature. These type of energies sources are called as non-renewable energy sources, or these are the called as conventional energy sources. And other hand, the renewable energy sources. What are the renewable energy sources? Solar energy, tidal energy, biogas, geothermal energy. These all comes under the renewable energy sources. Renewable energy sources means the energy which is utilized multiple times. By using once, it cannot depleted and you can reuse it. That type of sources are called as a renewable energy sources. We had a large number of scope in India and all over the world to use the renewable energy sources. Main source of renewable energy is a major one is solar energy. Solar energy's main source is the sun. As the environment, temperature and atmospheric conditions in India and all over the world, the solar energy had a wide range of scope. The only limitation is to store the produced energy, the produced electrical energy. If you are able to store the produced energy, then you can supply the energy without any problems, distractions to required demand. You can supply, right? This is the wide scope of renewable energy, and in most of the countries they switched from non-renewable energy sources to renewable energy sources. Most of the countries are doing research to how the most of the energy is produced from the renewable energy sources as per their requirements and as per their availability of sources. For India, we have solar, large scope of solar, tidal, right? We have the deserts and different geographical conditions. So in some of the areas, hilly areas, they are using biogas for their requirements in the household requirements. These are the energy sources. We have non-renewable and renewable energy sources. So now the renewable energy sources has wide applications. In our syllabus, we have the little bit of applications in this. In today topics, we will discuss about a solar cooker, windmill, biogas, and greenhouse effect. Solar cooker, windmill, biogas and solar greenhouse effect and impact of greenhouse effect global warming we will discuss in today's session. So, solar cooker. What is solar cooker? It's a device to use cook the food directly by using solar energy. It's a device used to cook the food by using directly solar energy without using any other fuels or electricity or anything. We need solar energy, that is a heat energy, in the form heat energy. By using solar cooker you can cook one food, or at a time you can cook multiple foods by using different bowls. Observe here. First you have to understand the major components or the parts of the solar cooker. Solar cooker, this is a outer wooden box. This is a wooden box, and here insulating body, insulated material, and this one is a glass plate or cover plane mirror. This is a plane mirror, and here this one is a reflector, and this is the source of the light, and these are the bowls or utensils. These are the bowls to cook the food, right? It has a wooden box, insulating material, and inside coated with a black color to take more absorption, and it has a plane mirror. Simply it's a glass sheet and reflector material, cover thin. It is used as the reflector is used glass plate or any silver wrapper can be used for the reflector. So observe here the inner box, thermocol in a wooden sheet. See, this is the wooden body. Inside the wooden body, the thermocol is coated with inside, and glass plate is fixed on the body, and inside the bowl is there, and adjustable reflector will be there. When you want to cook any food, take that particular material, rice or dal or anything, in a bowl and put it inside the body, main body, right? Here inside the main body, see this is the insulator, thermocol, wooden body. This is the wooden body, wooden box. Inside thermocol, it is used as an insulator, and inner side of the body is painted with a black. Metal box is fixed, and a lid, it's a glass cover, and a reflector. These are the major parts. You want to food cook, right? Take in a bowl and put it in the inner box, which is covered with a black, painted with a black color, and focus this reflector such as to the source sun radiation falls on the balls, directly falls on the balls. See here, the rays are coming from the sun, they are reflecting and falls in the on the ball, on the sheet. So on this upper sheet lid, this is a lid, this is the reflector. The light waves are falling on the lid and they are focusing on the wooden body, bowl. So in this way, whatever the material inside the box or bowl is cooked in a 30 to 40 minutes. Right? So it's very easy, convenient, comfortable to use. Just you need a solar energy. The temperature within 30 to 40 minutes, the temperature rises to 50 degrees. When you focus the reflector mirror exactly to the lid or a plain glass plate or glass sheet, which is act as a lid, right? So inside box is colored with a black, so all the incident radiation which are reflecting from the reflector enters into the cooker. Then the black color absorbs more heat, right? So absorbs more heat so as to increase its temperature internally. So you can adjust the reflector, to focus or get more energy radiation to be entered into the solar cooker. Alright, by using this without any problem, without any difficulties or disadvantages, you can cook easily within the 30 to 40 minute time. So this is a solar cooker, a device which is used to cook the food by using solar energy or the sunlight, directly sunlight only. We are not going to use any type of energy here. So solar cooker is made up of a wooden box, and inside the wooden box thermocol is fixed. On the thermocol, one metal box is fixed. The metal box inside, from the inside, it is coated with a black paint. On this box we have a lid. It is used normal glass plate and one reflector which reflect the solar energy or the light rays which are coming from the sun, and it is a movable and adjustable reflector. Normally we use plain mirror or any silver wrapper. You can use silver wrapper also to use this. Right, this is about a working of a solar cooker. It is very easy to make a solar cooker in our homes also. You can take these materials, wooden box and thermocol and a metal box and normal box with bowl. and reflector. You can use the reflector as a silver wrapper or glass plate, normal glass plate. So you can make a solar cooker with less cost, and whatever the material available in our houses, right? This is a very less cost and less energy consumed, very low maintenance, right? These are the advantages of the solar cooker, but the small disadvantage is to take some time. In commercially, most of the uh, some of the temples and gurudwaras like that, they are using solar cookers or solar energy to prepare the food for the pilgrims and coming devotees, right? So hope understand the working and parts of the solar cooker, right? Next we will go to the another energy, that is the windmill. The windmill is a device which gives the energy from winds, right? In we have coastal areas, hill areas, different geographical areas in India and all over the world. The earth has a diversified ecological geographical situations. In the mountain and hilly areas, the winds are the most powerful source to produce the electricity. So the desert areas are the best areas, are plain areas to produce this wind energy in the world. The China is producing most of the wind energy, and Japan, Germany, Italy is producing the most of the wind energy, and in India also, in Gujarat and some of the Himalayan parts and Rajasthan desert areas, we are producing the wind energy, but the production of wind energy is very less compared to the other type of energies in India. Only 2 to 3% of energy is produced from the windmills or wind energy, right? So windmill is a setting or a machine to produce the wind energy, electrical energy from the winds. Here we have rotor blade. In this part is a mechanism, and major parts are the rotor blades and gearbox, generator and a tower. And as major parts are rotor blades, gearbox, generator, and this is the tower. These are the blades, right? These are the main parts of the windmill, right? Here observe the rotor blades, low speed shaft, rotor hub with blade pinch mechanism, and here we have a high speed shaft, and this is a rotor brake. Here we have gearbox, electricity control, right? Wind van generator and power cables inside the tower, yaw system, here the rotatory system, and here we have a grid connection, right? So here when the rotor blades moves due to the winds, this low speed shaft converts this rotor into high speed, right? So rotor hub with blade pinch mechanism. Here we have a gearbox. Due to the low shaft speed, the rotor blades are moving with certain speed, and we have a gearbox. That gearbox converts the speed into the higher, right? And it gives to the energy is converted here from low shaft to high speed shaft, right? So this high speed, due to the high speed shaft, we can control the rotor speeds by using rotor brakes. The gearbox converts the speed into high, and it gives to the high speed shaft. Then we have anemometer and generator and wind van, right? So in generator, due to the high speed shaft, in generator electricity is produced. This anemometer is used to measure the speed of winds, and by seeing the speed we can change the gear due to the changing in the low speed to high speed. By using shafts, the electricity is generated. The generated electricity by the generator is given to a system which has a storage, right? So by using power cables, we can connect it to the grid system. On a strong foundational base, we have a tower. On the tower, we have a system, right? This is the windmill. See this is the tower. Total mechanism will be here only, right? This is the total system. We have anemometer. These are the blades. The blades rotates, and everything is inside this area, inside that particular shown bars. This total structure is called as a windmill. Windmill is fixed on a strong base. It has a tower, right, and rotatory blades inside the gearbox and generator. These are the major parts of the windmill. By using windmill, you can produce electricity. This is a working of a windmill. As the rotation increases, the winds coming from the nature, we can produce the electricity by using generator, and we can connect it to the power grid. From the power grid, we can use the energy. This is the second one. And here also in wind energy, you can use the same wind multiple times. Here first windmill, second wind, the same tide, same wind moves from here to there, then you can utilize it, right? This is also one of the best source of energy as a renewable energy sources. Next one is third one is biogas. Biogas is a gas produced from the biological waste. So in biogas, we have major parts are inlet, this area, this body, this is known as a mixture. So all the mixture waste material is put into that chamber, and you can mix it. This is the chamber. This is called as a mixture. This is and this major big part is a reactor. This is a major part, and this is known as a digester, reactor or digester. This is a expansion chambers. This one is the expansion chamber. This is a reservoir, and here cables, and here outlet. So you can see this. This is a major. This is small scale power plant used in a household. You utilize it. Alright. So observe this. This is a small one. Built-in water jacket eliminates the force smell and disease spread germs. Yeah. This is a now see this. Observe this figure. Here this area in a red chamber, this area. This is a mixture where we can mix all the waste material. For example, cow dung, plant wastage of plants, or vegetable waste, household waste. Everything is put into that mixture chamber, and you can mix it by pouring water. By adding some water, you can mix. So the mixture comes to the reservoir. Mixture comes to reservoir. This is a reservoir. Mixture comes to the reservoir from this inlet pipe. Here we are mixing all the waste material, cow dung, vegetable waste, food. Every waste material is filled in this chamber, and by adding water we have to mix it. So this mixed slurry enters into the main chamber. It is called as a reservoir or a digester, and on the top of the digester we have a seal. This is the major part of the biogas plant. So in this part only the gas generates. Gas is produced in this reservoir. So to collect the produced gas, you have a pipe, and above this point here we have a seal for avoiding leakages. And another part we have here overflow tank. If the mixture or slurry, the waste material, whatever mixture we are sending through the inlet pipe, if this gas reservoir totally fills and overflows, then the overflow slurry goes into this another chamber. This chamber is overflow tank. So we are adding another tank to the main chamber to avoid the overflow. Here on the overflow we have a removable cover. On the overflow tank, additional tank, we have a removable cover. So after some days, when slurry enters into the chamber, alright, and the gas is produced. Mainly the biogas is a methane. Methane is produced within the 1 week or 10 days of time, and it is collected from the pipe which is fixed on the top of a biogas reservoir. So here this is a small scale tank. We can use this type of biogas plants in a day-to-day lives, right? This is a major or small biogas plant which we can use. So the major source of this biogas plant is a waste material. We can collect different waste materials from our daily household utilizes or our daily uses. Then it is very easy to produce a biogas. So it has a great opportunity to produce biogas in our houses, and no, biogas is a totally environmentally friendly, and no pollution, no other pollutants are produced, and the remaining waste material, the remaining slurry which is produced by using all the material, it is used as a fertilizers in agriculture. The material which is removed from the plants, we can get that whatever the remaining material after production gas is a very high quality, used as a high quality nutrient for the plants and agricultural areas. And it has a lot of advantages in our daily life. Next part is different, which is a greenhouse effect. So greenhouse effect here, throughout the world, throughout the universe, Earth is the only planet which has a scope of living, because from the sun, this Earth is the third planet, and after the other planets, some of the planets are too highly cold, some of the planets are highly hotter, right? It is very difficult, but the Earth is most comfortable for the living things, because it has a layer of atmosphere. Other planets does not have any type of atmosphere, but Earth has atmosphere as a layer on the Earth, right? Initially, the natural gases, nitrogen, carbon dioxide, and every gases, in general, the light rays comes from the sun and falls on the earth, and some of the you can see now, you can see the
and greenhouse effect.
Now you can see this, the greenhouse, how but our Earth has a stable temperature, and it difference is the favorable place for life, because Earth atmosphere, it has a thin air atmosphere around the Earth. This shows, due to this atmosphere only the living things are here. So it can protect from the sun rays and the rain, everything. The atmosphere plays a vital role. When the sunlight enters to the comes to the after the day, year by year, the temperature of the earth is increasing. Why all this is happening? What should be done to stop all this? Right? So we will see in this greenhouse effect. So atmosphere, earth surface, the radiation coming from the sun falls. Some of the radiation is absorbed by the atmosphere, and some of the visible rays and ultraviolet rays and infrared rays coming to the earth. At the in between the atmosphere, some of the radiation is taken out, and we have an ozone layer. The ultraviolet rays are reflected from the ozone layer. So only the infrared and visible radiation are coming to the sun, and that radiation is visible radiation is absorbed by the surface, and this infrared radiation is reflected back, and some of the gases trap this heat radiation. And when the heat radiation is trapped by some of the gases, and the infrared radiation comes back to the earth. Ultraviolet is reflected back by ozone. This is called as a greenhouse effect. Normal visible radiation absorbed by the earth, and the UV radiation is reflected back by some of the gases. The majorly water vapor, carbon dioxide, methane and chlorofluorocarbons. Due to this, it is reflected back. So that is called as a greenhouse effect. The greenhouse effect, it is essential to keep our planet warm. So in the absence of this effect, temperature of the earth's surface would have been minus 20 to minus 40 degrees. Here we have to take a layer, the ozone layer. Due to this, the global warming, the temperature of the earth is increasing. So due to the emissions, and we have protocol planting. How to we can prevent all this? So reducing waste material and everything, you can reduce that, right? So greenhouse effect is nothing but the reflection of UV radiation into the earth. They have to reflected out from the, but they are coming back in the reflector. Greenhouse effect is as the radiation coming from the greenhouse. This greenhouse radiation is majorly methane, water vapor, carbon dioxide and chlorofluorocarbons. These gases are called as greenhouse gases. Due to these gases, the effect is done, that is called as a greenhouse effect. What is the greenhouse effect? The reflected radiation, UV radiation, is reflected back into the environment due to some of the gases. That is called as a greenhouse effect. Some of the radiation is trapped into the environment. Here, during the days, sun heats the earth atmosphere. At night, when the earth cools down, the heat is radiated back into the atmosphere. During this process, the heat is absorbed by the greenhouse gases in the earth. This makes the surface of the earth warmer. That makes the survival of living being on the earth possible. However, due to the increased level of greenhouse gases, the temperature of earth has increased very high level due to various factors. It leads to several drastic effects, right? So due to the reflection and re-entering into the environment, so most of the here observed is the natural greenhouse effect. More heat escaped from into the space. More heat escaped from the into the space. But here greenhouse effect intensified by the humans. It is intensified due to the increase and industrialization and deforestation, different activities by the human population. The greenhouse effect, the radiation, greenhouse gases are increased in the atmosphere, and this is the effect, and less heat is reflected back or escape from the environment to the space. That is the major drastic problem for the human beings. Here the major causes for the greenhouse effect are burning of fossil fuels, deforestation, farming, industrial waste and landfills. These are the causes for the greenhouse effect. So burning fossil fuels are important part of our life. We are using widely in transportation to produce electricity. Burning of these fuels releases carbon dioxide. With the increase in population, the utilization of these fuels increased. This leads to increase in the release of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. This is one cause. And deforestation. Plants and trees takes the carbon dioxide and releases oxygen. Due to the cutting of trees, deforestation, there is an inconsiderable increase in the greenhouse gases, which increases the earth atmosphere. And farming, nitrous oxide, we are using urea, nitrous oxides and different fertilizers to get more production from the farming. So these nitrous oxides also contributes the greenhouse effects in the atmosphere. And industrial waste and landfills, industrials and factories producing harmful gases which releases into the atmosphere. This leads to the increase in the greenhouse gases like chlorofluorocarbons, methane, carbon dioxide. And landfills also release carbon dioxide and methane that adds to the greenhouse gases. And these are the causes for the greenhouse effect. And the effects, what are the effects of the greenhouse gases? Effects of the greenhouse gases are global warming, depletion of ozone layer, smoke and air pollution, acidification of the water bodies, right, and runaway greenhouse effects. What is the global warming? It's a phenomena of gradual increase in the average temperature of earth atmosphere. This is the main cause for the environmental issues, is increased volume of greenhouse gases such as carbon dioxide, methane release by burning of fuels, emission, right? The temperature of temperature of the earth drastically changes due to the phenomena is called as global warming. And next one is the depletion of ozone layer. Ozone layer protects the earth from very harmful ultraviolet radiation. But due to the greenhouse gases, the thickness of this ozone decreases. It results to enter the ultraviolet radiation into the environment. It is very harmful for the living on the earth. Next one is smoke and air pollution. Smoke is formed by the combination of smoke and fog and different gases. This leads to very dangerous effect on the air pollution. Recently, in New Delhi and other surrounding areas due to the air pollution, smoke. They are implementing different methodologies to control all this. This is due to the industrialization and fluorocarbons, carbon dioxide produced. To reduce this effect, the Delhi government implemented the odd even number system, right? So this is very dangerous effect in general smoke and air pollution. And another one is acidification of water bodies. Increase the total amount of greenhouse gases in air. Due to these gases, uh, the most of the water bodies becomes acidic. The greenhouse gases mixes with the rainwater and falls as acidic rain. This leads to acidic, but water bodies are acidic. And next one is the runaway greenhouse effect. This phenomena occurs when the planet absorbs more radiation than it can radiate back. Actual radiation back, reflection of radiation is something, and it takes more radiation than it radiates back. This effect is called as a runaway effect, greenhouse effect. Thus, the heat lost from the Earth's surface is less, and the temperature of the planet keeps rising. This is a runaway effect. The phenomena occurs when this runaway greenhouse effect occurs when the planet absorbs, thus Earth absorbs more radiation than it can radiate. Thus, the heat lost from the Earth's surface is less, and the temperature of the planet keeps rising. Here, the scientists believe that this phenomenon took place on the surface of Venus billions of years ago. This phenomena is believed to have occurred in the different manners, right? These are the effects of greenhouse. So global warming major challenge and depletion of low ozone layer, smoke, air pollution, acidification of water bodies are the major effects of greenhouse gases, right? So in this class we discussed the applications of renewable energy sources, that are the solar energy, solar cooker by using solar cooker, uh, wind by using winds, production of wind energy by using windmill, and from the waste material, household waste or cow dung, production of biogas. These are all the renewable energy sources. So we can renew anytime. And the greenhouse effect. Greenhouse effect is an effect if the ultraviolet radiation or infrared radiation reflected back from the surface environment to the earth due to the some gases like water vapor, carbon dioxide, methane, chlorofluorocarbons. This effect is called as a greenhouse effect, and these gases are called as a greenhouse gases. And the causes and effects of greenhouse gases are majorly global warming. Global warming is a phenomenon of steadily the increases temperature of the globe, and the depletion of ozone layer, acidification of water bodies. These are the challenges nowadays. These are the challenges for the human beings to overcome all these. Otherwise, it is very difficult for the living things on the earth. This becomes a very dangerous pandemic in future. So all the governments and all the countries are acting and playing a excellent role to reduce the global warming and reduce the greenhouse effects. Thank you. Thank you very much.